a little story. I just remember. I'm sorry I haven't been viewing in a while, but I want to tell you a story about what my uncles passed to me. In life, you always, when you're a boy has to stay in a boy's place. A man has, as you're growing up to be a man, it'll take years and years of wisdom. And he installed that, and wisdom don't come easy, he used to say to me. And he's like, you always pay attention when somebody cooks. It's the easiest thing to do. He always taught me that you always stand up for what you believe. To be a man, it's easy to be a man, but what a man stands for is not easy. And I haven't seen him in years, but I always remember that. He always taught me love. If you have a whole bunch of white sheep, right? If you have a whole bunch of white sheep, I'm the black sheep. I'm the one that sticks out of the most. I'm like that sheep. I'm that black sheep in the middle of like wilderness. But but that sheep has them gold flakes underneath of that hair. Is really beautiful. That's what he always taught me. Underneath of that coat of your fur, you're really a gold sheep. I just want to tell him thanks. I want to thank him, my grandfather. Seen him up in Hagerstown. Something like that. I wanted to tell him, seen him walking. I want to tell them thanks. I'm going to tell my uncle thank you. Thank you for installing me to be a man. Thank you for standing for me. I hardly don't have nobody to stand. Got to my back. I'm actually glad. I got your first name. Sorry. But thank you all like the older gentleman, he taught me something. I appreciate that. Sorry about that. I have something in my eye. But thanks. Thank you all. I'm like the young pup. Like, like if you have a wolf pack, the young pup always, there's the older alpha male in the wolf pack. He's the most vicious. And I'm gonna tell my uncle, I've seen pictures of him with the yellow suit on. He looked really nice. He looked like a gentleman. Love you. Teach these youngsters something. I always thought in my life I wouldn't amount to nothing. But I did. I amounted to a lot of things. There's a lot of people. I want to thank the older generation for it. I appreciate my uncle. Appreciate friends I do got. Thanks, Russ. Love you, bud. Couple others. There's a bunch of others. And it's a handful. For once, I'm starting to learn a little bit more knowledge every day. It's nothing but knowledge. I do want to tell everybody things. Thank y'all for standing for something. If I don't say thank you when I see you in person, thanks. Because sometimes I know I don't got nobody. No, I don't got nobody. And just this past week, I've actually missed a couple of people in my life. I've actually missed them a lot. And I have oh man, I just missed them. wanted to tell it. If I see my uncle right now, the one uncle, the one uncle, he's not. It's hard to explain, but I want to shake his hand and give him a hug, tell him thanks. I probably cried to him. Tell him I'm sorry. For not mounting up to the man that he wanted me to be. You know? Some people realize they could have the weight of the world on their back. They can weight of the world is always on everybody's back. Some more than others. It's like, if you was named after somebody, right? What do you think? If you was named after somebody, like, anybody ever thought about that? Like, my uncle is my angel. And so he's my angel. Like, that's all one thing I have to say. No, I appreciate that. But the yellow zoom suit, my uncle, when I seen him wear it on the front page of the paper, he was smoking. I remember him, right? I remember way back in the day. It was nobody comprehends. You ever seen this is how you know God's real, right? God puts people in your life for reasons. I'm actually sitting at a church right where I pray at. There's a cross out there. I always come here to pray. Pray. My uncle, he's the best preacher ever. He could get millions and millions of people, right? This is how good my uncle is. He get millions and millions of people to come to God. He's a godly person. God shines through him. Like, he's so bright with God around him. And his past, like, since he's the head preacher, right? Since he's the head preacher, his pastors are that good. Like, he is the head preacher. Like, when I want to go to church, I want to go to his church. That's how real it is. You Yet the guy just shines straight through his heart and his spirit, and there's the Holy Spirit's always around him. You're around him at every time, everything he does, and everything. God is around him. That's why I call him my angel. And his deacon board and all of them, like, they are, like, he'll pray for days. Like, he is the one that taught me how to pray. Like when I was a kid, I remember going to a revival. I mean, he's like, "Are you ready for a revival?" I was like, yeah, you know, when you're like, okay, whatever. This revival was so religious. Like, God has come into his heart and soul and everything he does. Like, it was so, like, a godly experience. Like, he went to, I remember, my uncle was my backbone. He's the one that taught me how to listen. Like, listen to preachers and just different things. Like, I remember me leaving for the military, and my uncle told me to keep my head up. I mean, even as a kid, he taught me how to cook too. He's the one that taught me how to, you love a man. I mean, you know, you love a man for a man. Like, that's what his principle was. Like, that, he told me that's what you look in a woman. If she loves you, truly loves you. Sure. And, like, my aunt told me, like, yo, no, it was funny one time. I seen my aunt and my uncle, like, yeah, it was you know, I seen how their relationship was. Like, my wife, I want him to approve of my wife. Like, I want my uncle to say, hey, John, I approve of him. Like, I approve of you all, you know? I want him to go around the world. I want my uncle to go around the world with me. If I ever go around the world, I want my uncle right there with me. You know? He's the one that taught me if a horse bucks you off, you always get up and dust yourself off and get back on and ride it again. I remember when I was a kid, my first girlfriend ever. My first girlfriend I ever had. I remember him laughing because I kissed her at the bus stop. Yeah. I remember them days. I remember him preaching. He could preach a good If he starts preaching, if I would, whatever I did in life, I always thought about, hey, is my uncle gonna approve of me to do this? Is my uncle going to be proud of me? This is a lot of things. Is my grandfather gonna be proud of me? Am I gonna hold and uphold everything my grandfather stands for? Am I going to stand for what my nephews stand for? Can I be their backbone? Can I be it's then their wives, or listen to them quietly. My uncle is, one of my older one friends, like, John, when you got a good girl, you have a diamond. I'm like, okay, we little. He's like, really, you don't have a diamond? You have a star. I'm like, okay, whatever. When you put them both together, what do you have? I didn't know, but now I know. Shiny star. That's what he used to say. I just really wanted to tell my uncle. I want to thank him. Thank I have a bunch of uncles. I'm going to tell him each thank you. I want to tell him I love him. I want to tell him thanks for standing for me. When I get married, if I ever get married, I want him to walk my wife down the aisle. And have my wife's father on the other side of her. That way I know I got my uncle's approval. There's only, there's one uncle that really matters, and this is when I tell him thanks. Like, thanks for installing me to be a man. And this is what I want to show you too. This is what he's leading me to. He's leading me to the cross. Thank you. Thanks for not giving up on me. I love you. You want to show y'all what my uncle led me to? Talk to y'all later. Y'all have a blessed night, and see you the next time I do a live chat. Bye.